Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Yeah, it's pros and cons. And one comment that we got in the past was it should have been like cons. And I said no. And now there's a Star Trek podcast called Pros and Cons, like con. So I'm glad you, Jason VHS.
We lead the way, everyone else can follow.
Yeah, exactly. I like we kept it to the proper vernacular. So Jason Roy Gaston, your pros and cons.
Oh, well, the pros is, as I said, this was a very tight story with a beginning, middle, and end. Lots of humor. I enjoyed the humor, especially from Stamets. Whenever the way he would clear engineering, I thought was just great, especially whenever they were in first season mode and he just walks in and goes, "I'm very angry and surly," and everybody leaves. I laughed out loud at that. I enjoy Rainier. I think he's a great foil for Burnham. I honestly kind of wish he joined the show sooner because his by the book mentality versus Burnham's den mother, we're all friends here mentality. I like the way that they conflict with each other because sometimes she's right, sometimes he's right. I enjoy that. Always great to see Airiam again. How sad is it that Airiam gets the best character growth since after she's dead?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see me doing that.
Unremarkable riot for me. She was unremarkable, and she was awesome.
Yeah.
Airiam, I miss you every day. My name's not Airiam, it's Alice. I've been calling you Airiam all this time. I know, we just never corrected you.
You were too punchy.
We let you call Robot Lady Airiam as a joke. As for cons, quite honestly, I don't really have any. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It's not groundbreaking. It's not like this is the greatest episode of Star Trek of all time. It was satisfying. It was satisfying. It was well done. It showed us how far some of the characters have come. And I enjoyed it. So I don't really have cons. I'm sure Jace has got plenty.
Well, I reckon I'm surprised you didn't mention one thing, and that is the trope, which I know you didn't like in the first episode. They start with again 15 hours earlier.
Yeah.
Like I did instantly go, oh no.
Well, I don't mind that because they didn't flash back to it. It's just basically this is where we got it from. Let's continue the story. So we didn't have to watch it replayed again later.
All right, VHS Jace.
Okay, I have a real interesting one because it's a pro and a con at the same time.
Ooh.
And Jason already mentioned it. It's the Michael Burnham fight, which is great in the episode, but it's a con because I think it highlights one of the weaknesses early on in Discovery. She wasn't a protagonist that you really liked. And they kind of, in a way, making fun of that, almost fourth wall breaking, making fun of themselves, which I really like, because she wasn't a likable character early on.
Right.
But she was the lead that you were supposed to be rooting for. She was a hard person to root for early on.
Yeah.
Because she was so aggressive. But the fight itself was great. It was fun. It was, it had all those kind of good things.
All
Another
it
week
was
is our friendly engineer who, if you're seeing a freaking biological or technological new thing in engineering, maybe instantly go, we have, this metal bug in engineering. Can somebody come and help? But he watches it jump from wall to wall and then absorb, kind of going, well, that's weird. It's
know what? I didn't catch that. That is amazing. Good catch.
Yeah.
I did think, never mind.
Like, come on, dude.
That is a good catch, dude. I actually missed that.
Connie is poor Doug Jones, not even getting a credit in this episode.
Yeah.
And that voice that you heard and the footage that you heard came from a previous episode.
Oh, wow. They didn't even use
He wasn't involved in this episode at all.
Wow.
At all, which was great. Some of the great little things that I love Zora's playing K Sarah Sarah. In the end, I just like it's the first time that I liked Zora as an AI thing. It was the future. And I just love that whole scene. I love the like, hey, Sarah, so whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
I just really kind of love that. I certainly love and hate this at the same time. Everything happening in the ready room. Like a lot of it's happening in the ready room because I'm like, hey, let's pan out. Let's have a look at San Francisco back in the time. Let's get some external shots. But we only get it to see from their perspective, which is actually good storytelling. So, but selfishly, I wanted to see more of it. Don't know how to feel about what they're doing to Raina. If by the end of this episode, Raina has come down just 10 degrees and he's going to be a bit more affable, I'm okay. But if we see him turn into another beta boy Booker,
oh no,
I'm not going to be happy.
So
leave the character as is because you brought him down just a bit. You've taken off the sharp edge. And I like that moment between the Sammets, like let's show them how some old boys can get it done. I thought that was nice. I thought that was great little character development for him. It was kind of good. So there's not a lot to hate about this episode really at all. They're just nitpicky things. I mean, it's the best one of the season so far. And maybe Jason's right. Could be one of the best episodes they've done, period.
Yeah, it's very good.
And I don't know if that's because maybe we're all suckers for time travel plots.
Maybe.
I don't know. But I am.
Yeah, same. I mean, one of my favorite movies is The Terminator.
Yep. We're bringing that up now because we just filmed another show.
Why am I so tiny? Why did I arrive in the past so tiny?
You said I had to be naked, but now I'm like tiny.
You said I had to be naked, then why do you have the camcorder? Put it down! Put it down!
Can I say one more positive? I really like the scene where she goes into the bridge and has to convince them all that she's not nuts, though. Yeah, angry Michael Burnham.
Right.
You would think the hair would have given it away.
Yeah. Which Tilly didn't. Oh, I like the hair. Like,
yeah, Tilly. Her name's not Tilly. It's Space Karen.
Space Karen.
She didn't deserve that this episode. You put that away.
No, she was not. She's not full blown Space Karen, but I will stand by. She's headed in that direction.
She's gonna get a teacher.
But she's nice. She's nice. Tilly here.
Yeah,
and I love how they kind of. Oh, how do we make it look like old Tilly? Well, we'll just put her hair like it was.
Yeah.
That was the only
easy
change.
makeup day. Yeah. For me, I love the opening. The getting the one up on the alien species because he was plotting against them. So they went up to, you're going to try to swindle more money out of us. Okay. And the typical bad guy thing was, we'll make out over his dead ass. So I thought that was.
Yeah,
that was really fun. So Elias really is having.
He just reminds me of that Sith apprentice from Ahsoka so much.
She does.
Every time I see her, I just go, man, you just seem and you're kind of very similar character wise.
Yeah, that's a good catch too. Yeah. I really enjoyed that intro. I thought there was a lot of fun. The mystery box that we have now has another layer, and that is something that we had mentioned earlier on the theories part, and that's the Breen connection. They mention the Breen every episode in this, and the Breen have something to do with the technology from the progenitors. So it's going to be wild, and I think the Breen are going to be seemingly the big bad at the end of this whole journey. So.
By the way, guys, if you're wondering why I'm not on the theory show, I have suggested a couple of theories to these guys. However, they've said something about perverted and offensive, and you're never coming on the show. So that's why I'm not on. I can't even tell you what the theories were.
No,
they warned me.
Please don't.
No, you can't. You can't. We'll get removed, and we can't afford that. So we've come so far. No, we've come so far. The other big pro for me is a lot of what you guys mentioned was revisiting some of the earlier seasons epic arcs, and I like the Burnham Fu. It's one level up from Burnham Fu.
I like Burnham
Fu. Yeah,
she's really got it, and she's kung fu'd herself, and the only thing that was missing was I
wouldn't have even been mad.
I will say where Michael says it's the Red Angel, her look and the way she says it is the kind of reaction I had to having to deal with that storyline again. Is like
Oh.
Red Angel storyline again.
You didn't like it. I liked it.
No, and I got real concerned early on when I thought, oh no, are we doing a whole Red Angel thing again? Are we going back to revisit it? Because
No.
cannot stand that plot line.
Yeah, I was like, my con was they had an opportunity to bring back Lorca for 5 seconds or just a quick bit, and that would have been kind of interesting because he was in love with Michael Burnham, so that would have played an extra ante in this, especially because she's got a reconnection with books, and I feel like that kiss rekindled some of that fire in their relationship. She was like, "Ooh, I remember this." And I remember those abs, like I feel like she got a lot out of that experience going back and making out with Beta Boy Book as just
Yeah. Hey, Tig Notaro. Oh my God.
Oh,
why aren't
my
they
God.
making
It was
her a captain of
so-
her own starship? If we can't get Legacy, give that woman a show.
Yeah,
She steals every scene that she is in.
yeah.
If she's a teacher at the academy, I'm all in. That's
There-
It actually may make me a bit more interested in. If she is
Yeah.
a teacher, then I would, yeah.
I have a feeling Books is going to be involved.